Hey guys, Marcinkin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today, with the producer letter, we got a sneak peek of some of the future quality of life updates that are going to be coming out. They talked about January specifically, so these are not... we're not expecting all of this stuff to be appearing in the game straight away, alongside the new units that are coming out. The units should be coming out on Thursday, because they tweeted out all the details this morning. And there's a news thing in the game about the Dokkan event, which normally would be 48 hours before, but obviously that would then be Christmas Day. I'm pretty sure they don't come out on Christmas Day, and there's maintenance on the 26th, at least for me. I think it might be late on the 25th, depending on your time zone. Let me check. When is it for me? Yeah, it's 2 a.m. on the 26th. So if you're in the US, it's late in the evening on Christmas Day. So basically, after the maintenance, it's quite a long maintenance, 5 hours. It ends at 7 a.m. UK time for me. So I'm assuming then that the maintenance is going to end. The data will be there. Potentially the banners will come out straight away, or they may release on Friday the 27th. I haven't actually seen any specific thing about the banner date yet, because obviously until we get a data download, we won't know for sure. But with the stuff being tweeted out today and news being in the game already, like I say, normally that would mean 48 hours, but that would be Christmas Day. So obviously I'll let you guys know as soon as we know for sure when everything is coming out. But this stuff is not going to be out for a while, the quality of life updates, but there's some very, very interesting stuff. I'm sure you've seen people talking about it already. People are heralding this as basically, essentially the release of Dokkan 2. Which is crazy because it is a massive update. They're changing a whole bunch of stuff. They're completely changing the UI. Animations are getting updated. The way the passive is displayed, as you can see, this is the first thing we're going to talk about, has been updated. This is going to be a crazy, crazy update. So we're just going to jump straight in. So first of all, the improvements to the character details page. The passives are going to be laid out in a completely different way now, which, as you can see, like, you press a button to view the details and then you get this massive page come up, but everything is split into separate headings to make things a lot more clear which parts of the passive are activated when, how many times. So you can see here for UI Goku, you've got basic effects. So it says his attack and defense, 77% chance to dodge and 77% chance to do an additional super. Then he has a heading for 1 turn from his entry turn, key 7, and evades enemies' attacks. Then we have for every attack evaded, chance to evade enemy attack 7% within the turn. And then it says key +2 up to 10, and defense 30% up to 150%. As you can see, that has like a little clock with an infinity symbol next to it. Basically, it means that can happen infinite times within the turn, or infinite times in the event, although obviously, as you can see, it does have a cap, so it's up to 10%, but it's showing you that the skill can go off multiple times. There's only 2 like versions of this. It's either going to have the infinity symbol, or it will have a number, and that's how many times it can go off in the entire battle. So there's no limit on how many times it can go off in the battle, in terms of, like, you know, it could still be going off on turn like 10 if you hadn't done you know, if somehow UI hadn't dodged like any attacks, right? So there's no time limit on it, is what that essentially means. When activating the active skill, or when key is 24, 77% extra attack and performs a crit. When HP is 77% or more, attack and defense 77%. And then when the character or an ally in the same turn is KO'd, if HP is 77% or less, revives with 77% HP recovered. And obviously that has a 1 next to it, because it can only happen 1 time. And then after the character or an ally's revival is activated, key 7, attack and defense 77%. So obviously, technically, I guess that's weird. It's funny because that one has the infinite symbol. So in the future, if they ever make it so that revives can be used more than once, then technically that could double up, like if 2 people revive on the team. Because it's interesting they haven't put it as a 1. So I wonder if that is an indication that maybe in the future that could be a thing that happens. And then, yeah, after the revival is activated, evades enemies' attacks on the next attacking turn. So the thing about this is, it's a bit more convoluted, but it's broken down into showing you each bit of the passive, where it works, when it activates, rather than it just being a huge wall of text that all these things are mixed together, right? Like after a revive's been activated, when activating the active skill, like these things are all just lumped together in one paragraph as it is now. So this makes it a lot more easy to separate all the different bits of information. There won't be, hopefully, any more confusing bits where something that seems like part of the beginning of one of the abilities is actually like the end of one of the other abilities and they don't match up. It's not often that happens, but it definitely can still be a bit odd or a bit confusing. Like if you look at UI Goku's passive in the game now and just bring up his passive details, and it's just this wall of white text. So this makes it a lot more clear, like which bits are activating when, how many times, and all that kind of stuff. So definitely an interesting layout here. But the biggest thing, and this is the huge change, is there's a massive overhaul of the whole way that the game is going to look. And I mean, this, they only showed us the in battle, but they did actually mention in the producer letter the out of battle stuff as well. So who knows how like all the menus and the home screen and all that stuff could potentially change. But we have a huge UI update for the game. So this is going to now be the screen when you go into a battle. I don't know if these backgrounds are going to change based on the event. Maybe they'll have special backgrounds for certain events and stuff like that. But here you can see we have the free-to-play starter farmable Saiyan Saga team, although for some reason the person hasn't awakened their Goku into an LR yet, but I guess that is what it is. Goku versus Vegeta, and then this is where we see the first new shot of the in-game menus. So the boss health bars thing at the top doesn't look as different, I guess. I mean, you can see at the top here, turns 1, that's now right at the top. The menu option is now in the top corner. You have the boss with the typing. And then look at this is the thing where it's really different, is down here at the bottom. And you've got your HP bar, which is now, instead of in 10% segments, is in 20% segments and is color coded here. But not only does it tell you your HP, it also gives you the percentage. So this is really, really interesting for stuff like active skills, passives, and all these things where you need a certain amount of HP in order for something to be active or something to be able to be used. And you can now actually see exactly what that percentage is, which this is actually very useful. I can remember multiple times when playing difficult events or when we've been doing challenge runs and stuff like that, where being able to know exactly the amount of HP that you're on, I think would be very, very useful. Also, like the menu at the bottom of the screen, it does take up less space. So I guess you fit more like actual stuff on the screen. And one of the other big changes you can see here as well, you've got your rotation of 3 characters, and then down here in the bottom right, rather than having the wheel that just shows your whole team and then you can kind of see like the next 3 slices, like who's going to be next, it literally just shows you next characters and it shows you the next rotation, like the 3 characters, so you don't need to guess. Usually you can tell, but sometimes when rotations have been locked and people have been floated and stuff, the wheel at the bottom can seem a bit confusing. But this now just tells you straight up the 3 characters that are on the next turn. We also have the Dokkan gauge down here as well. I'm not a huge fan of like the font. This is, for me personally, when I first saw this on the stream, it seems like one of those like fake like knockoff games that you see advertised on like Facebook or something. Like the joke one was like Chinese Dokkan, everyone would say, because it was like a knockoff Dragon Ball game, but they used art from Dokkan and then even Legends when that came around. And obviously the gameplay is completely different and everything, but I don't know what it is about the menus, but I think it's one of those things. I've been playing the game for a very long time now, like, you know, 8 years or so, or more potentially. I passed my 3,000 days login not that long ago. So I think it's just one of those things that it's a big change, so it's going to take a lot to get used to. We got the next screenshot here is the in battle, so I can show a video clip of this. Finally, after all this time, and shout out to Goresh, I remember this being a thing that he's mentioned throughout the years multiple times, they are finally updating the normal attacks. So not every single character just does the same very basic set of normal attacks. I mean, there might still just be spread throughout like every character, but there's going to be multiple different ones now, which should be very, very interesting. And then we have like a new font as well with the KO thing here. So if I switch over to, which is a better view to show this, probably this one, and switch over to this. So here's an example of we'll put the sound off because I don't want the in-game sound to be too high. Here's an example of some of the new animations. So, oh yeah, there's the idle animations I forgot to talk about as well. So I say idle, but look at this. So not only do we get the new normal attacks, I completely skipped out talking about this, but characters are now going to have little animations when you move them into the slot or when they become the active player in the slot. So you can see here straight away, we've got a Kid Goku one where the staff comes out and then extends. You've got a little tail wag. Goku going Super Saiyan and then taking his like fighting stance. And obviously if you switch back, it does it again. Now they did mention that those are going to be added over time for all the characters, right? Not every single character is going to have these straight away as soon as the update comes out, which, you know, that makes sense, right? Because how many different like character like models have we got? So it's going to take a while. Sadly, it means we probably won't ever get, or if they do ever bother to do them, probably won't be for a very long time, ones for the heroes characters, because those would definitely be super cool. But yeah, special idle animations. I say idle animations, but like the starting animation. The Goku one is really, really cool. Just like going Super Saiyan and then taking the stance. Because the card is just a Super Saiyan Goku. The card doesn't start off as base or anything, but that's very, very interesting. And then, yeah, we have the new basic attacks here as well. So this one's like a pretty straightforward one, kind of similar to what we've got already to a certain extent. This one's definitely quite interesting. Got some key blasts. Then we got, I think this one has a bit of a different key attack. This one is a really cool one. It got some actual like teleport hitting. And then I think the last one, yeah, this one is awesome. Like the two characters fly, a couple of different like snap vanishes, and then like a big axe handle down to the ground. And then we see the slightly new font. So you've got the new damage numbers, the new KO font. So like everything is being completely overhauled visually, which is just a huge, huge thing. Like I say, loads of people just calling this like Dokkan 2. It's a massive, massive change. It's definitely something that's going to be interesting to get used to. So you guys will have to let me know what you think down below. I did put this tweet. Like I say, I'm sure it'll grow on me because, you know, it's it's a new thing that we're not used to. But it looks like one of those fake unlicensed games. I don't know what it is about it. Like you can see in this zoomed in image, there's just something about it that seems odd, but I guess it's just because it's different, and that's the main thing, right? But this person here mentioning the percentage of the HP thing, like I said, this is really, really good. Like regardless of what I think of the way it looks, like the colors and the fonts and stuff, everything about the update itself, the percentage thing, the animations, all that stuff, everything about it, like in that sense, is a big W. Like I say, visually, I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but like I said, it's probably just because I've been playing the game for so long. I'm just used to the way it looks. I think somebody did point out in another comment as well, it's not like the menus the way they are now. It's not like they're super, super good, like anything crazy, revolutionary, top quality UI, like gloriousness. It's just that is what we're used to it looking like. And obviously now it's going to be very different. So let me know what you guys think down below. What are your initial thoughts on the new UI? Like I said, technically everything that they've added, everything that they're doing seems really, really good. Visually, I mean, like I say, probably just get used to it eventually, but definitely a bit jarring to see it looking so different. And yeah, like I say, remember, like all the colors and themes and stuff matched. Like the menus at the bottom of the screen before were green with the different layout, very similarly to what your scouter like title card at the top looks like, where it has your name and your rank and your stamina and stuff. So I'm assuming like all of that is going to change, but we haven't seen any of that yet. The menus, the home screen, everything. So really, really interesting. And the really big takeaway from this, which obviously as someone who, you know, Dokkan is my job essentially, something that is very reassuring for everyone who loves this game, is that there's absolutely no way they would be putting all of this work and all of these resources into overhauling the game like this if there weren't plans for Dokkan to be around for a considerable amount of time, right? Like there's already a quote from, was it the last anniversary meetup, that like they have plans beyond the 10th anniversary already in motion. But this implies to me, with an update this big, there's no way they're doing all of this work and then like Dokkan shuts down like next year or something, right? So Dokkan going to be around for a long time, more updates to come. Really, really interesting. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments of the UI. What are your initial thoughts? If you don't like it at first, you think you'll grow to like it, let me know what you guys think of all of these updates and stuff down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.